So, after watching this movie, I really regret not doing my top 10 list, so early. Hey guys, it's Kevin again, and in this video, I'm going to be doing a review too. This was like a completely unexpected review, because I didn't even expect to see this movie. I literally just wanted to see it because I had nothing to do today, so I decided I'm going to go out and see a movie. I went and saw Saving Mr. Banks. And as I said, I really feel bad about doing my top 10 list because this would definitely be on there. Because I was really looking forward to this movie. One, Mary Poppins is one of my favorite movies. It's also one of my favorite Disney movies. It's one of the movies that I always watched as a kid, as like a younger kid. And I still do watch it, not as much as I used to, but I mean, it's just such a great film. It makes you feel warm inside. You love Mary Poppins so much, and I absolutely love that movie. So I was really looking forward to seeing how this would all work. Now, originally when I heard about Saving Mr. Banks, I thought it was going to focus on Walt Disney and, you know, everything like, and just the production of Mary Poppins, but that's not what it was at all. In fact, it was much more than that, and Saving Mr. Banks was amazing. It's probably my second favorite film of the year. My favorite is still Frozen, but it's my second favorite because it really greatly affected me, and it was just so good. I loved it so much. Alright, so the plot of Saving Mr. Banks is a little complicated. Let's just get to it. So basically, this is all true. Everything that happened in this movie is completely true. I don't know if everything's completely true, but it's based off of this story. So the real story was that P.L. Travers and Walt Disney basically had this contract that Walt Disney had given her for like 20 years. He had made a promise to his daughters for 20 years that he would turn Mary Poppins into a movie, because because Walt Disney is not the type of person that would break a promise to his daughters. He just doesn't want to do that. And it's like 20 years later, and P.L. Travers is like at the end of her rope with money right now. She's at the end of her rope. She's not doing very well with money. So she talks to her agent, basically, and he brings up the subject of Mary Poppins, and she's like, fine, I'll do it. What she doesn't know is Walt Disney's envision of it, and she is a very proper, as they said, and they said this in the movie, hoity-toity English woman. That's what they said in the movie. That's exactly how she is. She's a very proper, like, if something does not go her way, she gets really upset, but she's just very, proper. Definitely a lot like Mary Poppins. You could definitely see that. However, what we do learn is that she is also, we also get to see her backstory on why she is this way. We get to see her in Australia. We learn that she is actually from Australia. Her real name is Helen, and she's there, basically. And, we see her, we enter a relationship with her, very ill-tempered, very short-tempered, and alcoholic, but he's a very loving father, who really cares for her, and, really wants to help her, really tries to be there for her, but at the same time, he is dying of influenza. He's not doing well at all. He's in a very bad shape, so we get to see that as well. What I really loved about this movie, though, was that when it got to P.L. Travers and Walt Disney, like, fighting over things, it was all comedy. Then when we got there, that provided the heart in the movie, and I really love that, because there are a lot of scenes where you get to see her kind of reflecting over, you get to see, this is why she didn't like that. She didn't even know this was going to be like a musical. She didn't even know Mary Poppins was going to be a musical. She debated over, things like Dick Van Dyke being in the movie. She didn't want Dick Van Dyke to be in the movie. She didn't want animation in the movie. She didn't even want Mr. Banks to have a mustache. I mean, like, everything that they said to her, she was just like, no, you can't do that, and I can't do a British accent. I can't do it for the life of me. But she did not want she was just like, no, you're not doing that. You're going to listen to me, and you're going to do things my way or no way at all. And that's exactly how she was. So, let's get to the performances, which the performances are really just the best part of this movie. had it not been for these spot-on performances, this movie would not be as good as it was. Emma Thompson. Emma Thompson was spot on as P.L. Travers. I couldn't think of a better person to play her. And well, as I'm watching the movie, I'm like, I don't think anybody else could have played this woman. She was so good. I mean, she was so funny in some scenes. And then she was really, really, but then she was also very, you know, heartbreaking in some scenes. She was just really, really great in the movie. She definitely deserves that Golden Globe nomination she got because she is amazing, and she can just do so many, she's just so great in this movie, and I absolutely loved her. Now let's get to Tom Hanks as Walt Disney. He was really good as well. I really liked his portrayal of Walt Disney. I liked basically that you got to see that he was actually a very nice man. He wasn't in any way a malicious person. He was a very nice person. He really tried to care for P.L. Travers and tried to be there for her, and even listened to her requested points. There were some times where he's like, you have no idea what you're talking about, but then there were other points where he's like, okay, I'll listen to her. And I did like their banter. It was one of the funniest parts of the movie. Also, her and the Sherman brothers, anytime they had a scene together, absolutely hilarious. Just perfect. Then you had Paul Giamatti as Ralph. Now, Ralph is P.L. Travers. Now, I don't know if this guy was real. I think he was just a character they created for the movie to provide some heart. But he is this person who's helping out her, getting basically he's her cab driver, basically. So he's there, and his daughter is actually in a wheelchair, and, we basically get to see that they actually become really good friends. At first, they're bantering and everything, but then they become really good friends, and, he's just trying to be a very loving father, just like Walt Disney and P.L. Travers' father, and I definitely really, really enjoyed that. So that was really great as well. The other person I have to talk about, well, who else was there? Jason Schwartzman was great as one of the Sherman brothers. I don't remember who he played, but he was really good. Colin Farrell. Colin Farrell was amazing as P.L. Travers' father. He was so amazing in the movie. Definitely, you really felt the emotion there, and that was the one part where there was one part in this movie where I didn't know what was going to happen to his character, and, like, my heart was pounding because he did such a great job in the movie. Definitely, he did such a great job. So now I'm going to get into some spoilers for Saving Mr. Banks. So if you haven't seen the movie, I am going to talk some spoilers, which kind of ruins the movie for you, so I would recommend you not listen to the rest of the review. Okay, so the biggest thing I want to talk about is this movie almost made me cry. It did. Why did it almost make me cry? Because of the whole backstory with P.L. Travers and the whole thing with us finding out that she changed her name to her father's. I was like, oh my god. That was the one scene where I felt like crying. And then the scene where she's watching Mary Poppins, that scene almost had me crying as well. I didn't cry in the movie, but I almost did. That's the thing. I didn't cry, but I almost did. I felt like it, but I didn't. So also, what I also really liked is basically seeing how the whole reason it's called Save Mr. Banks is because Mary Poppins saved her father, and there was a real person, there was a real Mary Poppins, who didn't save her father, and she kind of wrote that in, so that way, you know, Mary Poppins, that's why she's so dedicated to Mary Poppins. I thought that was just so heartbreaking to see when she got so upset at the nanny who was trying to help her. I was also very happy, and it was also very interesting to see the characters that we all know and love actually be real. There was a real Katie Nana, there was a real Uncle Albert. You know, that was definitely really, really cool to see. I mean, we didn't actually see them. Well, we saw the real Katie Nana, but we didn't see the real Uncle Albert. All we know is that there was a real Uncle Albert, which I thought was really, really cool. That was definitely really, really great. So I also really like that as well. And, I think that's the only other thing I have to say is I did like that we got to see some of Walt Disney's personal life briefly, because I did like that, when we found out that, you know, his father abused him, which I actually had to do a book report in school one year, I think it was like 5th grade, about a non-fiction book, and I picked Walt Disney, and I remember reading about that his father abused him, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad they're saying this, because it was great to see his reaction, and like, Well, I mean, I don't really like to talk about it, but I didn't mean to make you sad. I mean, I love my life, I love my father. I just love how positive Walt Disney was. That was so great. He was such a positive person, and that was so great about him. So yeah, overall, I love this movie. I encourage all of you to see it. It is so good. It definitely pays great tribute to Walt Disney and Mary Poppins. If you guys have seen, you know, even if you have seen Mary Poppins and are just a little bit familiar with it, you will still love this movie. It was also very funny to see her reactions to some of the songs. Also funny to see P.L. Travers' reactions to some of the songs. Especially like the Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious scene. She's like, "What did you just say?" That was definitely really funny. It was just a really, really great movie. And I really love the way they combine the humor in there with her and Walt Disney. And then also the drama with, you know, her story with her relationship with her father. I really love that. So yeah, that's it for my review. Say Mr. Banks, let me know what you guys saw in the movie, and so you definitely see this movie because it is really amazing, and I can't wait to you know, if I had not made that top 10 list, this would have definitely been up here. Would it have been number 2 or number 1? I don't know. Probably right now, I don't know. Is Frozen or Say Mr. Banks better? I don't really know. I think both of them are the same for me, and I love both of them. So that's it for my review. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye.